To the walkthrough for the Moderna color logo template. When you receive your file, you'll be directed to a page that looks like this. You hit use template and that will bring you directly into your own Canva account. So once here, it's time to start designing. So what you want to do is put your own information in here, obviously. So let's click on that box and let's do Cora Thorne. And you're going to want to stretch this out so your first and last name fits. If you're using two names, if you have a name for your company, then by all means use that as well. So now you can see that this is leaking off the canvas. So what we want to do is adjust either the spacing, which is this tab here, so we can bring the letters closer or farther apart using the spacing tool, or we head over to the sizing tool and you can just resize that in that way. This is a little bit small for me, so I'm going to type in 165 and see how that looks, and then adjust the spacing ever so slightly. Now I'm happy with that, and now I need to find a letter that this works with. So keep in mind that what we're going to be doing is using this letter as our submark down here. And that will be my logo. Now I'm going to change this from real estate to realtor. And I'm going to just slide that in over here and then adjust the spacing so that it has a little bit more room to wiggle. So everything, all I'm doing is rearranging everything so that it works with this particular name. So you're going to want to do the same thing. So whether you're using one name, two, or three, you're going to want to adjust everything until it looks good to you. And then I'm going to, once you're satisfied with your primary logo, which is the logo you'll be using most often for everything, think on your business cards, on your flyers, everything. Then once you're happy with this look, you move on to your secondary logo. Before we move on, I just want to point out a few things. You don't have to use this font. We've chosen it because it's a modern font and the Pre-Made brand was made in the style of modern. But if you want to use a different font, then by all means head over to this font tab and just scroll through all the fonts that are available and play around with it until you're completely happy with the way that your name looks with the particular font. Once you are, you can change the color to anything that you'd like. So if you have a color palette already chosen, then you can head over here to the color tab and you can put in your hex codes right here. And then once you're happy, you move on to your secondary logo, and here's where you're going to adjust the name. So I'm just going to put Cora Thorne, excuse me, and then I'm going to adjust it to make sure that everything's centered, and that looks really good to me. I don't need to do anything else. Everything is kerned, the spacing is perfect for both. It's lined up, it looks good. I'm ready to move on to my submarks. So with your submarks, you can choose to use both or just one. Submarks are used for things like stationery, think on the back of an envelope, or social media. Think on a social media post. So when you have a social media post, rather than put your entire logo on that post, you can put a small submark, which gives the idea, the feeling of your brand without being so overwhelming that you lose focus, which should be the social media content. So this is really easy to change because we're just going to change that to an O, and then we have our submark here. And for the second submark, we're going to do the same thing, but then we're going to adjust all the information around it as well. And this would be Cora Thorne. And what I would do here is probably do another Cora Thorne, and then just either leave it as real estate or type in realtor. And either way, it looks great. So you can play around with this. You can put your first name, last name, first name, last name. You can put established on either side. It's completely up to you. Again, play around with it until it looks good to you and it's something that you would want to move forward with on things like social media. So once you're happy with all of your logo files, you're going to head over to download. and then you're going to download them however you want to use them in the future. So if you're just using these in Canva for all your marketing flyers and everything that you're designing in Canva, then you don't really need to download these, because all you need to do is head over to the logo that you'd like to use, select that canvas, and then hit Command A on your keyboard, which selects everything. I think it's Control A on a PC, but on a Mac it's Command A, and once you've done that, it selects everything. Now you can right click and copy that and bring it into another canvas that you have going in Canva, apply it to that canvas, and then size it however you'd like. So that's if you're using it in Canva. If you need to send it to a designer or a company because they're using it for you, then the best thing that you can do is download either as a PNG file or a PDF print file, and that will give them the resolution that they need in order to use it in your marketing. And that's it. If you need any more help, please feel free to head over to fourthstreetcreative.com/tutorials for our full resource library. Happy designing!